There are just some things you can't explain. There are things happening around us that I can't quite put into words. What was that? Tonight, we're going to talk about theories. Theories about the truth. Conspiracy theories. Get your tinfoil hats, folks. We're diving deep.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. All right, here.
Wow.
Okay, we survived. I can't believe we're here.
Well,
we made it.
They haven't shut down the feed yet.
No, we're still good.
Still good. Can't stop us. Can't stop the truth, folks.
No.
Well, what is the truth?
It's out there.
It
Just have to
sure
find
is.
it. Conspiracies. They're everywhere.
Calling it a conspiracy, though, feels bad to me. That's like you're downplaying it. It could be the truth, right?
Calling it out or calling it in? Like calling the cops on it? Can you call the cops on a conspiracy?
It's illegal. In fact, by definition, do you know what a conspiracy is?
Mm-mm.
A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Ooh. It's funny. It wasn't like immoral or anything else. It was just like unlawful. I was like, wow. Are aliens unlawful? I mean,
that is true.
Supernatural UFOs, are they unlawful? I don't know. It makes me wonder.
Yeah. So there's a handful of types here to try to define conspiracy theories in a nice ball. There's the enemy outside, within, above, below, and then there's benevolent conspiracies where everyone's out there to help you.
Is that the thing? Like from the secret word I told you?
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's cool.
Oh, here's some free change. Ooh, oh, thank you. So, enemy
That's
outside.
not a coincidence.
No, definitely not. They're planning something. They're against you. It's Truman Show all over again.
It could be.
Yeah. Enemy outside is someone like outside the gates. They're about to do something to overthrow whatever you've built. The enemy within is like spies inside.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy above is the power, the people who are consolidating power and taking it from you.
The few.
Yeah, the few, the 1% or the 0.1%, depending on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
then
a good point.
The enemy below is the poor, the common man.
I guess, thank goodness, I had all of $7 in my bank yesterday, so I guess that.
Are you trying to overthrow social order here?
I sure am. I'm starting with the banks. Woo!
So that's Jesse Walker's 5 kinds.
I like that. Yeah. That's actually really good.
It's straight to the point, and it makes sense.
But where do aliens fit in this one? Are aliens just the outlier in all these? Or would they be from above? Because they're literally above?
The outsiders. They'd be scheming against the community.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Driving by in
aliens.
UFOs. Yeah. All right, moving my pop filter. Hopefully it changes all our audio settings and ruins the whole episode.
Everything, yeah, thank you.
And then I looked back and I said, he did that on purpose. Nick changed the mic on purpose. He's sabotaging the episode.
That jackalope.
But that's a conspiracy theory. Someone can go back and watch us and say he knew he was going to have a bad episode. He was saboteuring it early on. Mm-hmm. And that's a conspiracy theory. You can make a conspiracy theory of just about anything, right?
I think you can.
Just like pop up.
The one thing I read is that you can't do small conspiracy theories, like how you got a free lemonade today. That doesn't, like, no one cares about that, so it's not even like, but maybe it does play
I guess it has to be, it plays into a big game.
Yeah. Just
how big lemonade is pushing their game around town.
Yeah.
It's going to make you sterile.
Oh, that is true. It could be in the water.
It could be. So these conspiracy theories, everyone knows like hundreds of them, whether you know it or you know it. My question becomes like, how big is a big conspiracy theory versus like how small is the smallest one? Like there's ones as big as like the Illuminati and the New World Order. Mm-hmm. Like there are 13 people in a council that can oversee the entire world, and they're pulling the strings and moving oil somewhere and making you poor and making you listen to certain music a certain way because it'll make you lazy, and then all the money keeps trickling up to them, and it's like, whoa.
You're touching on this guy named Barkin. He does 3 different types. So there's conspiracy theories around events, single things that happen. Okay. There's things that are systemic, so things that are throughout.
That's systemic. I like that one.
And then there's super conspiracy theories, that there's one all-powerful evil that is controlling everything.
I like that one.
That's a pretty sweet one.
That's what we kind of get from all the TV shows we grew up on, right? 80s and 90s kids, like all our bad guys were like super powerful villains, like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. I mean, I don't even know what the guy's body looks like. It's just a hand slamming down and making that cat jump.
Those evil hands.
That's evil. Oh my God. He just had a reach. He could get anywhere. And then whatever he was in would just have jetpacks and boost off into the night air, saying, I'll get you next time. And that's pretty scary.
So what's with the tinfoil hat? That's like so aliens can't see your brains?
No, it's so the government can't read your thoughts.
Government's reading our thoughts?
Yeah.
The special thought reader machine?
The government's watching everything we do. Cookies.
If we had that technology, they wouldn't tell us. And they'd probably use it against us. That's all I'm saying.
My problem is, though, do you think they're really doing it to everyone? Like, wouldn't that get boring? There's more people to watch than people watching. Like, you run into a problem where are you going to watch
how many people there are? The
That's
government
a good point.
tells
I
you.
don't know. You said it in such a good voice. I like that. Well, think about it. It seems like it would be a lot of work, wouldn't it? Unless I was one of the few people, so that like the ruse would have to be huge, like Truman Show level huge.
Yeah.
Like I would have to be one of the few people who was worth anything, and then
the
all
only
of you
person on
people,
Earth that has original thoughts. Let's listen.
and you people are like, yeah, that's interesting. Script. He's talking to me at a urinal. He just said the weather's crazy, huh? What do I do?
The weather is. Tell me.
Someone just explodes next to me at a urinal. I'm like, wow. On the UnPanderers, I go, a guy exploded at the urinal next to me. It was crazy. And you're like, yeah.
Gets all fuzzy and staticky.
Yeah. So, oh man, I've decided upon all this research, I love conspiracy theories. At first I was like laughing at them and they're like annoying and they're jokey, but like they're kind of fun.
Yeah, I do like that the conspiracy theories are good for the common man.
Hiding a haircut.
They're actually good for the common man because they shed light on things that don't make any sense but could. So people get scared of the nut jobs out there that are like, oh, but Kennedy really lived through it, or Elvis is alive, or...
Let's argue about which is the biggest one. Kennedy, probably number one, because there's so many Kennedy ones.
Second shooter, plus the guy who shot him was killed before he could say anything.
Yeah, dude, there's some weird stuff.
He was involved with like gangsters or something.
He came from overseas. He just signed up like the day before for something. Like he filled out all this mysterious paperwork. If you watch documentaries on it, and they're like, no one's sure why, and it's like, that is no one's sure why.
You wonder how many people actually know what happened, and then what the bigger theme was. It's just that we don't want this president dictating something in the future or something he's already done, or
right. You figure he was on the bats with someone even hot, which is crazy because it's someone higher than the president. Enacted a bunch of things to maybe kill the president, right? That would be like, that's literally conspiracy, right?
Yeah. Well, most of the people believe that the president isn't really a position that has free will. He gets put there because he's appointed by somebody else to be the...
And he's in so many pockets. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying like he's literally a puppet?
He is literally a puppet.
That I don't buy it.
he gets sold so many ways that he can't buy his way out of it.
That's what I believe. I believe you've made so many deals and you owe so many people that by the time you're in that high a position of power, you've already been granted so many favors that the rest of your life is literally paying back these favors while trying to uphold your constituents, while trying to not look dirty, while trying to look good, while trying to do like 17 things at once.
Yeah.
It's my theory. I have no idea. I kind of want to just talk about
you got something juicy?
I just want to
juicy.
Okay, I just want to get into. There's something about conspiracy theories here. Conspiracies. I read somewhere they did a study in 2013, so I don't know if it's been updated since then. In fact, it's probably gone up.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of the United States actually truly believes a conspiracy?
Like any conspiracy?
Yeah, it was just one. Now they questioned like I want to say 13,000 people online survey. So I don't know.
It's probably like 12,000 of those people. So that's somewhere around like 80%, I bet.
It wasn't 80, it was 50%.
Really? Okay.
Now you could also answer I strongly believe. So I picked one at random because the one at random had the actual stats for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It was chemtrails, right? You know what chemtrails
are the back blow from jets when they fly around?
Correct. So a jet flies in the air and nice clear day, you see the jet and you're like, what the hell? And it's got this big cloud that just disperses and gets bigger.
They believe there's like chemicals or something in it, right?
Well, something ain't natural about that. Why would a jet make a cloud, huh? Well, I actually have the answer. It's called a contrail, which ironically sounds just like chemtrail. A contrail is water vapor that's coming off of the engine that's so burning hot that once it hits the air where it's that thin and that cold, it crystallizes, forms tiny like ice crystals. So it actually acts like a Sirius cloud, I think it is.
That sounds good.
Whichever cloud is like ice crystals, and it looks just like that kind of cloud. Anyway, that's it. But what people believe is that it's chemicals like barium, strontium. I love that it's always heavier chemicals. Yeah, it's always heavier chemicals too. It's never like
they would never stay in the air.
It's like helium in the air. Everyone's talking a little deep, a little lighter. Anyway, they believe it's either military making people docile. It could be drug companies dropping in diseases, so we have to buy more drugs, like high blood pressure. Why is that coming from? Could be mind control to help us be sheeple, as we say.
More control, yeah.
Right. So anyway, they talked to people in the United States, and this was a bigger survey. This was a real big survey. I want to say hundreds of thousands. 10% of people surveyed thought this was factually true. That's actually a chemical trail following this. If you took 10% of the United States, 10%. If you did this over the whole United States,
millions
which
of people believe it.
So millions of people? Hold on. So 20 to 30% thought it was somewhat true. Like there's definitely something going on.
People have no idea what science is.
That's crazy though. So what's 30% of the United States, let's say?
Bunch of idiots is what?
What's our population? Are we 500 mil?
300 mil. Somewhere.
I thought we were higher.
I think we're like 350 mil maybe right now.
My bad. I thought 5. I'm stupid. Anyway, so what's 30% of 300 mil?
90 million people.
90, thank you. 90 million people think chemtrails are real?
You can make them believe anything you want.
Oh my God. But I want them to believe this is a good podcast and they should donate money. Like, how do I do that?
You have to weigh into the apophenia, which is the tendency to perceive connections and meaning between unrelated things.
Oh, like dogs are throwing up, chemicals are coming out of a jet, they're related. I just linked two things that aren't related, but maybe I can tell people they are.
Yeah, that's exactly what people do with these chemtrails because they believe maybe they have a different mood after the chemtrails. Maybe they perceive they're changing. And it's obviously the chemtrails. It has nothing to do with anything that's actually touched their body.
100%. It's the chemtrails.
Yeah, it's the science they can't explain.
They did there's a hot thing in conspiracy theories where they have to have, it's like an unanswerable question. Like there's science to it, but has science really figured it out? There's like this gray area, and that's where conspiracy theory can grow. It's like scientists are 90% sure why this, and this happens. They're still not sure why water vapor does this. And they're like, conspiracy theories lean in and they're like, oh, really? They're like,
There's like a pseudoscience in the middle there. People are theorizing what could possibly be, but usually they're wrong because 30% of the population is terribly
right. Usually all these people are wrong. Usually most of these theories are wrong. I don't hate them. There's something weird and mischievous about it. There's something I'm even drawn to. Like I started on just clicking on conspiracy theory videos, which have you ever done?
It's a little bit disconcerting to watch. This always bothers me because they have a certain tone of voice. They have a certain presentation. Yeah. It's always like
music. It's creepy music.
Strange.
It's like, have you ever ended up down the wormhole? These are all wormholes. We should do a whole special on wormholes, YouTube wormholes.
We should.
But this is one where it's similar to the one where it's like 10 times ghosts were caught on camera or something, and you look at it and you click, and it's like, that's not a ghost. And then you watch number 9, you're like, that's not a ghost. And you watch number 8, and you're like, that's not a ghost. And you keep saying it, but you're watching the whole video.
Yeah.
And then the next video is like 10 times time travel was proved by pictures from history. And I'm like, that's so stupid. Click. That's not a cell phone. That's a blurry picture. He could be holding anything to his ear and pretending to talk. And then like, why was this person with a Walkman? And it's like, that's not a Walkman. That's number 7. And then like you keep going down this wormhole, and you don't really believe them, but you like to click on them. And it's creepy music, and it's always late at night. You know, you're never watching it in the daytime smiling.
You're never sharing with people either.
No, you're huddled over your phone. You're like, that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, that's fake. But you're always looking around, and you're like, okay, so this isn't off topic. This is a little bit going to sum up everything we're talking about. I was listening to Come Town the other day, good friends of the podcast.
Sure.
And they're comedians in New York. Like, that's what they do at the comedy scene. And apparently there's one comedian who's awful at comedy, and everyone knows it. They all laugh at him. They make fun of him. He's bad at it, but he keeps touring. Like, it's just, I forget his name, Tom, John, Mark. It's a real simple name, and with I'm not even going to go with his last name because I don't know him. Don't know the comedy. It's just in all circles, he's laughed at. He's a buffoon. He takes himself super seriously. I believe he was quoted as saying, I don't think what I do is any different than what the firemen do. I go in there and I do my job, and I give the people what they need, and I'm done.
That's so righteous.
And come down was just dying at the thought that A, you're bad at it, but B, you think you're giving jokes is the same as saving people from a burning building. A, you're volunteering to give jokes. Like, these people are paid to save anyway.
Yeah.
They said he has what no other comedian has. It's this thing where he really believes in himself 100%. There's no doubt in his mind. And what every other comedian has that keeps you grounded, keeps you real, is the thought that maybe you're not actually that funny, and everyone's kind of laughing at you. And that thought will never go away. You'll always have it in the back of your mind, no matter how good at comedy you get. Robin Williams might have had it. All these great comedians who make millions of dollars, they all got this weird doubt where, like, maybe everyone's laughing at me. And it keeps you
grounded. It brings you back to reality to make the joke even funnier.
Whoever Tom is does not have this. God bless him. That's what makes him funny, I guess. But it's like, that's what's in conspiracy theory. I don't believe in them, but there's this little doubt in the kernel of my mind, like, what if?
So you're touching on epistemology, which is the study
what is that?
Of the nature of knowledge, justification, and the rationality of belief.
Hell yeah, I thought I was.
It's like, why do you believe that they're out there to get you? It's like, I just know. I have all these records. I have these documents. And they're like, well, what are you talking about? They're all elsewhere. I can't show them to you. If I show them to you, they'll be after you too. It's like that paranoia.
I don't want to. Yeah, paranoia. It's
the belief in all that stuff. Yeah, it's like you can't disprove what he's talking about because you can't get to the facts of it.
That's another thing with conspiracy theories that I loved. They usually attack something that's in a way that's not disprovable. Like these chemtrail people. I'll just take chemtrails because that's, I guess, the easiest one. I don't know what it is.
No one can go up there and test it and grab it.
Exactly. I don't know what on every jet. I don't know what's going on with. I can't grab all those wood or vapor molecules and test them in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
They did a study in 2013. It was independent, peer review study. I don't remember who did it. It was an esteemed college. Of course, it was a college. It was always a college.
Sure.
They went up and tested the air in the area of all these, what they considered would be general study chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
Tested them. They came back with no discernible evidence that any weird chemical of any sort was in the atmosphere that wasn't there before. But to test that, I imagine they had to know the jet's pathways. They had to know when the jets were going up, and they had to make public that they were doing this test, right?
Yeah, FAA.
My theory is the jets knew they were going to test them, and that's why they didn't chemtrail everyone that day. But, like, do you see what I mean? Like, conspiracy theories, No, I'm just. Well, they weren't doing it that way because they knew, right? It's.
Oh, you want to touch on flat Earth? I know you do right now. I could feel it.
I do. Someone who watches the podcast has a significant other that loves flat Earth.
That's exactly what a flat earther would say, though. Is that
it is?
There's something. There's an exception.
You want to view on it?
What's the theory? Is that the Earth is a flat? Is it a disc or a square? They don't really talk about the
disc. It's spinning, and gravity is the effect of the spinning plate going up in space. It's going upwards.
Okay,
we're traveling up through space,
and that no one's ever gotten to the edge because they would have fallen.
Well, the edge is convoluted because there's like mountain ranges, and do you know how? Well, think of this: if you were, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay,
you're a boat or whatever, or a plane, and you come to like, why do planes stop in the middle of Antarctica? Could they keep going?
I guess.
Has any plane ever just kept going? I doubt it. They probably stop when they see Antarctica. They're like, it's too big. I'm not going around that. It's a waste of time. It's cold. I could fall. Same with a boat. A boat comes up to the ice mass, and they look at it, and they're like, it's Antarctica. We mapped it out. I know how big it is. I'm not going through it. That's stupid. But a conspiracy theorist would say no one ever does go through it. No one ever goes go past it. And that's the edge of our world. It extends everywhere. Not everywhere, but like in all directions. So what you're seeing is what you think is just a landmass called Antarctica. It's really the edge of the world. If you would go past it, you would see this, but no one does. Everyone stops.
The
flat Earth map or something.
Yeah.
Right. So that the other thing is apparently they say the way, what is it? If you're up in a plane, the Earth should appear round, but the horizon looks flat. And
because of the sheer size of the Earth?
They don't get no. You would see a curve. This is them. I know. The other one is this. My favorite part is that any NASA picture you see of the Earth,
it's been doctored.
Hell yeah, it is. It's fake. Fake as hell.
I will say that there is one picture that NASA took that is like the Earth in all its glory without any clouds, and they say that's not
blue
possible.
Marble.
Yeah. Oh. That's not possible.
Oh, they did one without clouds?
Yeah. Well, they stitched together from multiple images, so they like to hark on that one. They say, this is a fake image. Well, it is a fake image of the real Earth in segments, just small segments stitched together.
Do you know they had a meeting? I think it was called the Flat Earth Global event.
Where is this?
They really did it 6 months ago, but did you catch the name?
No.
What did I just say?
Flat Earth Global?
Flat Earth Global? Globe. I think they had changed the name. I can't remember if their symbol was a globe or something, but they did a meeting. It was, check where it was. You might even be able to pull up where it was.
Flat Earth International Conference?
Yeah, they changed the name of it. I know.
Raleigh, North Carolina in 2017.
There you go, baby. Yeah, 17. I thought it was recent. Mm-hmm.
They did another one 2018. It's sold out.
Oh,
that is in Denver, Colorado in November.
Ooh.
Wow, it's sold out. I wonder how much they sell these tickets for. Can I try to...
I don't know. Isn't it interesting?
Exhibitors. Let's click on this thing. FlatEarthModels.com apparently is in there. Sacred Word Publishing. The Bible says Flat Earth. Flat Earth posters.
You can make the Bible say whatever the hell you want. The Bible has so many goddamn verses from so many different authors and so many different subjects.
And then Flat Earth games. So it's there's only five exhibitors.
Oh man. Well, you know.
Ridiculous.
Either way, it's a hard sell, but if you want to believe it, it's hard for someone to disprove it to you.
That's, I guess, maybe not.
To
the average person. Yeah.
All right. So someone said this about conspiracy theories. He was interviewed by your boy Joe Rogan. Merman. His name was. Did you come across him? Merma.
I listened to that guy. He was
Sean Merman?
His whole job is to disprove conspiracies.
He said something really interesting that I thought almost should have been included in the definition of conspiracy. A conspiracy is a theory you have where if I give you new information, you say Fortnite is making kids gay, or Fortnite is training kids to kill terrorists, or whatever. Because I picked Fortnite because it's the most popular thing in the world right now.
Yeah, no offense against Fortnite.
Really big.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I'm just saying a conspiracy theorist might say,
yeah,
whoa, it's free.
The bright
it's
colors
huge.
are drawing them in so they get focused on the kill.
And anyway, they're doing government work. The government's using Fortnite to find out who's an effective killer, and to keep our youth from believing in immigration or something. I don't know. I'm making it up.
They did make this game though. I think it was called like Army of One or something. It was literally
a
military. Yeah, military.
Oh, hold on. At the end of this episode, let's make our own conspiracy theory about Fortnite.
Yeah. Okay.
We can do it right now. Actually, hold on. I'll say they're testing our hand-eye coordination. They're bringing in the youth. They have these little fake dance moves and Twitch streamers who are paid actors. Think of it. Most of them, that's not a career. You can't make that much money just playing video games. Yeah. They're being paid by someone else, okay? Someone higher up. Oh, my God, I just got a beep. Are they trying to shut down our feed? Right, hold on.
We got to change lines. We should switch channels.
We have switched. Anyway, what I think is happening is they're trying to get our kids, because think of what population of the kids play that game.
Almost all of them.
Huge number, right? So if you wanted to indoctrinate them or send them a message or get their DNA or figure out what's going on with them or give them secret messages or train them for secret operative missions, this is the way to do it, right?
23andMe conspiracy, right?
I don't know. I'm just thinking it could
get all those genes and figure things out.
A thing with a conspiracy, this Sean Merriman or whoever he was said, was that if I gave you new evidence that I said, not only would you deny it, you would make it part of a bigger conspiracy. If I give you evidence that goes directly against what you just said to me, hey, I think Fortnite's a big conspiracy. It's a big government cover-up, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, well, actually, the government tried to buy it from a small company. They're a very small-minded company. There's only 13 people that work on the project. They said, no, thanks. We're very liberal, and they try and promote liberal things. So they were like, no, they didn't even sell to the military. You would be like, and that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Really, they've been bought long before that, my friend. And it's supposed to look cool to young people. Like a conspiracy person who's really entrenched takes any information he gets against him and just builds his walls higher. He's like this. Oh no, it goes higher than that. Like he doubles down. You never turn back. A conspiracy theory is not like, you know what? You're right. I think you're absolutely correct. They double down. You almost dig in deeper. It's part of the conspiracy thing, I guess. It's part of your identity, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to be told that you're wrong. You're essentially a know-it-all with some sort of twist to it. It's kind of like inserting your own pseudo-history on whatever topic you're talking about, whatever conforms to your ideal.
Right. And you've come upon this history, and you're not going to give it up.
It's like dementia. Like there's no way you could
a little
believe
bit,
otherwise.
I guess. Because you'd have to give up part of yourself, maybe? I don't know.
If you built your whole belief system on this thing.
Maybe not your whole belief system, but like
at least
a big chunk of your time spent watching videos and stuff. I don't know.
You've invested yourself enough to not give up. That's like people playing the same video game for 30 years. They're still playing
God.
Pong.
What game were you playing? No, they're not still playing Pong. They're not still playing Pong, for the record.
But they could.
Are they still playing Pong?
There could be somebody out there playing Pong. It's the best game they ever encountered since it was the first game ever.
Before we get into conspiracy theorist believers, I did not want to get into them yet. Do you know, we grew up in a time where there weren't conspiracy theories. Do you know what we had?
So what were our conspiracy theories when we were
ever famous Bigfoot.
Or the abominable
snowman. Yeah. And how about Loch Ness? Nessie?
Oh yeah. The fuzzy picture with the dark crane looking image.
So I've been trying to figure out what that's called. I asked everyone upstairs, like, is that a folklore? Is that a rumor? Is that a beast of the night? Like, that's not a saying, is it? You'll never be able to find it because I already found it.
Oh, go hit it.
It's a cryptid.
Cryptid?
It's a Greek cryptid. It's a Greek term derived from crypto, meaning to hide or hide. It's a hidden animal. It's an animal whose existence or survival is disputed or unsubstantiated. And they have dozens of different kinds. Like there's different dinosaurs they thought existed that didn't. But you have Chupacabras in the group. Yeah, baby. Oof, you're on it. the funniest is the list. It's like animals that they thought were extinct but weren't. Animals that never existed but they thought they did because they moved the bones together the wrong way. It's like a fossil mistake. That's a cryptid. Like there are certain pterodactyls that they thought were shaped totally differently, but they were like, oh, the bones go here. Oh, well, that's not an animal, you know. So there are whole animals they created back in the day that were like not real. But this one's interesting because the ones we just discussed were no physical proof of them and no fossil record of them. So they're like category bullshit, kind of.
Yeah, but everyone knows. The crazy thing is everyone knows about it.
Bigfoot, Loch Ness, Chupacabra. There's a few others. I didn't get them all, but I thought that was so cool. And I was like, yeah, everyone loves Bigfoot. He's real, by the way. He lived with the Hendersons for a while, right?
Yeah.
I think.
1990s, baby.
I guess it's so weird. I just thought of Alf.
Yeah. Was
Is he a cryptid? He was an alien.
Alien life form? Alf?
Yeah, and he ate cats. I don't know.
Did he eat cat? I don't know that that's TV
the
worthy.
joke was always like, where are my keys? And I didn't eat the cat. Where's the cat? I think that was the joke, the running joke. I don't think he ever ate it. He just always threatened to.
He was so peaceful looking and calm.
But sarcastic and bitter and hate-filled.
I have to rewatch that.
I would watch Conspiracy Theory on Alf and how he was real, and all the jokes we perceived as lighthearted humor were really like.
They're just desensitizing us. So an Alf.
They were visages into his dark soul, where he was really he meant all those things. It would be like he seemed really jokey. Helen, you better get my goddamn keys, and everyone knew there's a laugh track, but then it goes like black and white, and it's a still, and his eyes turn red, and he's like. But Alf was serious. He had a drinking problem, a smoking crack problem, and he never listened to director so-and-so. Shut the bleep up! Like, Alf, off the edge. The Alf you didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? I could see it.
He's got like a highball glass. He's spilling whiskey everywhere. Smoking at the same time.
Oh, go ahead, please.
So I came across the influencing machine. Have you heard about this one?
Nope.
So it's kind of like borderline on schizophrenia, where these people believe that there's this machine out to kind of challenge them, but it's just out of reach of their knowledge, so they keep trying to solve this machine. And it does 5 things, and I'm going to read through these 5 things. So it makes the patient see pictures. When it's the case, the machine is generally like a magic lantern or like a I can't say that. Cinematographer? Yeah, whatever. Sure. Cinematograph. It's like skips a syllable.
Cinematograph.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So the pictures are seen like they're projected onto something, but it's not like a hologram. So it produces thoughts and feelings, and it does this through waves of rays and mysterious forces. So this is people like saying this machine is doing this to me. It's like these schizophrenics are like, this machine's got me. It produces motor phenomenon, so it makes them like have erections and seminal emissions, quote unquote.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's trying to deprive the patient of his potency or weaken him. So it spins it. So like I guess I don't know what this actual machine would be, but it's via air currents, electricity, magnetism, and X-rays. All things you can't really see or feel. Like maybe you can feel them slightly, but you can't really prove that they're there. You don't want to test that someone has air currents around their penile areas. No, it also creates sensations that cannot be described. Again, with all of those things, and it's responsible for other occurrences in their bodies. Weird pathological issues.
Where did you come across this? Out of curiosity.
This is something from Dorian Feigenbaum, Psychoanalytic Quarterly. It's published in 1933.
Where did you come across this particular theory? Like, what made you Google this or whatever? What was this under? A weird conspiracy theory?
This is a weird wormhole where I was I was trying to find things that were just like bizarre, but
the most bizarre conspiracy theories you can find, right?
Yeah. So like a lot of schizophrenics have this thing that is just like it's outside of their grasp of understanding, but they're still trying to like manipulate it.
There. It's messing with them.
Yeah. It's because they can't get it. They keep they keep trying to do it, and then these things start happening to them because they.
Well, that explains everything. Remember, I told you to open up that website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go to that website.
go ahead, bring it up, and you can.
Well, here it is. We got it.
So I had a customer come in to my store. It's a mom and pop shop. Came in. He was real weird. He had one black glove on. He did his business. He asked to buy some things, whatever. He eventually bought something, and he kept saying that, like, thank God I'm okay. And I was like, yep, see ya, dude. And he was like, thank God I'm still okay. And I was like, that's great.
Nice.
He's like, government can do all sorts of crazy stuff to you. And I had another customer there at the time who was one of my friends. Shout out. He's actually in commercials. Bobby Spears. I don't know if he wants his name out there. I don't care. He does commercials. Like, he was in a Eagles commercial, Scratch and Off Lotto commercial. He's the local celebrity, baby.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, he was in there, and I always laugh with him. I joke with him. He's a good guy. And we both stopped for this customer who's had a black glove, was acting real shady, like 50 plus, African American male, looked like he served for the military. There's a look. They have the hat. It says USS.
PSD.
Anyway, right. Maybe. PSD. That's what you think. You let the guy buy his stuff, give him his respect. And as he was leaving, he kept saying the government something. And then he's like, I just hope I don't have to get made to do anything again. And I was like, yeah, man, here's your change. Have a great day. And he was like, just so you guys should know, you should look into this. And he looked at me and Bobby, and he put a card on the table. And this was 10 years ago, I want to say. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like big internet time. Like, I don't even know if my smartphone could web browse. I think it was just able to. And as soon as he left, he was like, tell me that's a website. We need to go to it right now. And I was like, well, let's check it out. So we both went there, and this is the website. And I was like, oh my God. And I looked, and it's like vomit. It's victims of microwave intense torture. And it's exactly what you were talking about. Like forced muscle quaking at the large muscles on the back, wildly racing heart that they can make your heart race from far away, brain zapping. They can control your dreams. They can read and broadcast new thoughts into your head. It's called gang stalking.
Oh, no.
They can, sudden violent twitching inside the eyelids. I'm like, after I read this, I was like, oh my God.
How many drugs are you doing?
But it's not. It's like, it's so weird because it's almost scientific in its approach. I don't know if you put it up for everyone to
graph,
see.
yeah, I have it up. There's one where it's like pointing at every part of the body and saying how they control your body.
And your eyes went right to the genitals, and you said special attention to the genital area, baby. Itching,
forced orgasm
and intent. They made me do
intense pain.
Oh, geez. Just like this whole thing is. Anyway, anytime I saw him afterwards, I was always like, you checking out vomit lately or whatever? And just what you said earlier was crazy, that a lot of the similar things that people think they're being things that go wrong in your life are almost blamed by some weird rays coming from something else. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine living your life like that.
It's weird because
depressing, kind of.
Like, maybe these people have a mental issue. Like, this is the serious part of it. So maybe they definitely have a mental issue. But maybe they had something traumatic happen in their life that makes them shameful of whatever's happening to their body. The first orgasm is a sensitive thing. If someone shames them about it.
You're going with that. I'm saying, what if you have PTSD? You saw a lot of your friends get ripped up. You got messed up mentally, whatever happens. No. Now, what if you just have an orgasm at random? I have no clue how your body works after the fact. That's probably it's probably a condition or something. Could you be like, that's the government microwaving me? I don't know. It's
like having nightmares and then waking up and it's a wet dream and you're just confused.
Yeah, I guess so. There's some weird stuff going on. Where we're going is pretty dark, but if you had all that happening, you needed an explanation, right? Is that part of a conspiracy? It's to explain something you can't explain a little bit?
Maybe they derive comfort from trying to use a conspiracy to cover up whatever, or not. It's just there's no reason I can control. It's out of my hands. It's a conspiracy doing this to me. I feel better now because it's not my problem.
So we've got into it. My favorite part of this whole research was on not conspiracies themselves, but people that believe in conspiracies.
All right.
There's a psychological profile. Not that if you believe conspiracies, because most people how about the moon? You believe we went to the moon? You probably don't.
I think we did.
There was no wind blowing that flag, was there?
I think they could hold it up. That doesn't make sense, but they probably held it up.
Anyway.
Conspiracy. Can't you take I think you can fake a photo. I mean, you can use a telescope to actually look at what's on the moon. You could see it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know this by fact. I think you can use a telescope to look at the moon and see where they actually landed. See the flag.
That's interesting.
I mean, you can see... Okay. It's like Saturn and like
pretty close.
Bodies.
Right. You can see. You're right. You can see pretty close.
We should do this. Actually, I'll buy a telescope and we'll look at the moon to see where they landed.
You're not buying a telescope, anyway.
I'll look on the internet for what they tell me.
I'll see a video of someone looking at a telescope. So, a psychological profile that came out in Psychology Today, 2018, was understanding conspiracy theories. I think was the article. There's three things that run common throughout people who. That's the other thing. If you believe one conspiracy theory, you're bound to believe 2 to 3 to 4 others. Like you're not just I do one and that's it.
You're heavy into all of them.
Yeah, not all of them because some of them are at odds with each other. I think it would be weird if you believed every single one, and you're like, how can everyone do this if everyone's controlled by Soros or like whatever? And you're like, well, I cannot compute. I don't know. They said that it is a desire for three things: a desire to understand and control uncertainty, a desire for control and security, and a desire to maintain positive self-image. All those things kind of didn't sound like anything to me, so I read the whole article, which I hate having to read a whole article for this podcast. But
yeah, good job, Nick.
Understanding and uncertainty, he said, was kind of like you didn't know what was going on with something, so you researched it, and you found something that answered your questions. And what comes away from that is you have an understanding now of the subject. You're almost a scholar. You're almost learned. You're not that you're high and mighty over people, but hey, I did the research. I know a little more than you. You're just guessing here based on your science or your whatever. I read the whole thing on it. Let me fill you in. Number 2 was control and security. The analogy was you can be a passenger in a car that's been around for 400 years. Gravity does this. Well, it doesn't really help me that gravity does this. What if gravity works backwards? I'm going to drive my car. Whether I'm right or not, at least I'm in control, and it's my own thinking. And it's almost like flat Earth really goes in that one. So thousands of years, people have said the Earth isn't flat. These people are saying maybe they're wrong. I'd like to drive the narrative. I don't want to just be a passenger aboard a car, old, boring white scientists. I'm going to think for myself.
I like you said thousands of years.
However many. Dozens of years. Dozens of us. Sorry. And then lastly was maintain positive self-image. You're almost a hero in this because you did the research, you uncovered a truth, and you're willing to divulge the truth maybe to help
saving the other people, yeah.
A little bit. So he says your Uncle Joe, who's crazy and is always telling them, he isn't arguing facts. He's defending his securities and his positive feelings of himself. And that's why it's so hard to argue with these people.
Protecting his own emotions, not the fact.
He's a good guy, but he also has this privileged knowledge that he understands you don't understand. He's privy to this knowledge. He's done much research. And it's like, So that's why it's hard to argue. Have you seen the video I saw on YouTube? Until you do, get back to me. It's like, I don't have 30 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to watch this for 30 minutes just so I can tell you it's wrong. But next article was in Quartz magazine, May 2018. You can look it up yourself. I didn't write the name of the article. It starts with a quote from Karl Popper, whoever he is. He's from like the 1940s. He says, people tend to attribute anything they dislike to the intentional design of a few influential others. There's a conspiracist ideation. It's a common personality type where anything not in their control, like the more out of control it is, the more it's a conspiracy. Because like taking, for instance, global warming and all that.
Yeah.
To think it's actually true means it could take hundreds, if not thousands, more than your lifetime could even put a dent in fixing this. It's almost easier to think there are 12 people holding a weather machine, even if they're reptile people, as ridiculous as that sounds. Someone could come along and stop those reptile people, and the Earth would be fine. You don't even have to sweat, in a way.
It's a plot.
It's almost like movie.
Good.
And it is. It is a good movie. But it's almost like easier to let that go than to think, oh my God, we have to reverse hundreds of years of work. I have to change my whole life. I hope my children change their lives. I have to go up against
everyone to change their life so that we're not going to all die.
Which is impossible. Yeah. Right, which is impossible. So it's easier to think, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's almost like, it's not us. Something's going on. There are reptile people doing this. It's like you almost shed responsibility a little bit.
Or you believe that it's not in your lifetime and you don't care about the people that are after you. So it's like, let's enjoy this life to the fullest.
Yeah, a little bit. Lastly, we have a unique factor. These people who believe these things tend to think they're unique. The Germans came up with a word for this.
Ooh.
You ready? It's called Schlafschaf.
Schlafschaf?
Sheep. Which, ironically enough, has come back into the American term as sheeple, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The sheep. That's not very... I mean, that's intuitive.
So there's something crazy that they did in this Quartz article. They did a study where they tried to say it's almost like a conspiracy theory is only as good as the fewer people like it, the more conspiratorial and powerful it is. They did a conspiracy where I took a screenshot of it because it was too hard to just write the notes.
So you said the fewer number of people that like
something,
it makes it better.
That believe it makes it better, which I thought I was like, what? And I was like, let me see this. So this group did a study with, I want to say, a couple thousand people. So it was not a ton, but like
a decent amount.
They invented a conspiracy theory from scratch.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
It's totally fake.
Sweet.
Okay. I love this. This is cool. We asked U.S. participants to read about an entirely fictitious debate unfolding in Germany. It was the installation of smoke detectors. It's now mandatory in Germany. And they said, allegedly, a retired engineer found evidence that these smoke detectors have serious side effects from a hypersound emitted by the smoke detector.
Yep.
And the hypersound caused nausea, gastritis, and depression.
Oh.
It was rejected by the VDS Schachtenberg trials that investigated it. They said that's not true. That's not true. Anyway, they're the largest. Also, the people who said that's not true, they're the largest producer of smoke detectors in Germany. Anyway, the idea is that the government and them are in cahoots, and they don't care, and they still want you to take all their smoke detectors and buy them. So they introduced the conspiracy as being believed either by a majority of the public, 81%, or the minority of the public. They're saying this is over in Germany. 81% of the people believe this, and 19% don't. When they said that, most people said it's not real. When they said the opposite, 81% of people think this is false in Germany. 19% of people think this is a real thing. All the people in the United States who are reading the story, they sided with the minority. Like when the people who believed it were the minority, they said it's probably true. Like,
so you want to fight for the underdog, really, is what you're saying.
Little bit. Like the little guy's right.
Yeah.
But it's weird because that's also the opposite of truth. I mean, if 91 scientists tell you one thing, but a few rogue scientists say, no. You're like, the little guy's right. He's right.
The entertainment value of it, right? Like the flat earthers, the earth isn't flat, but it's entertaining to see someone argue that it is.
It is. And you will get people to argue with you. I'll tell you that. You definitely get people to argue with you, right? You're not going to get people to argue with you. You say, hey, buddy, the earth is round. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought, pal. That's what I thought. You roundy. So it's weird. So this is almost less about the conspiracy itself and more about the minority, the minutia, what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, Sasquatch, Loch Ness. I'd like to believe they exist because it would be fun to see something like that exist.
I agree. Conspiracy theory is a little bit fun. I almost want it to be true.
The Area 51? You want to get into specific ones now?
Go ahead. Yeah, let's go into some specifics.
So, I mean, me personally, it's Area 51 is supposed to be what? An alien sanctuary or something?
If you believed in one, which would you believe in?
Any conspiracy theory at all?
Yeah. You pick one.
Aside from like assassinations, because they seem to be.
What's the 9/11 ones?
That wouldn't.
Kind of weird.
No, I wouldn't believe that it's a grand
right. Building
scheme.
27? Building 7, I mean?
Building what? What? I don't know what happened to Building 7. It fell down when it wasn't hit.
It fell down before, yeah. Before the other two even fell or something. How weird is that?
What's the facts? What are the facts behind that?
I have no idea. Now I didn't give everyone the facts. I just imagined the facts I heard were wrong. But if you type in Building 7 9/11, you're going to like, what's funny is you're going to start reading it and be quiet for like 8 whole minutes. And you're like, huh. And I'm going to be like, well, what do you think, Dan? What do you think, Dan?
I'm going to be silent for 8 whole minutes.
Go ahead. Now, here, do your thing, because I'll tell you.
Your favorite one? You have a favorite one?
I don't yet, but let's look at which one I would most likely believe. Actually, I wouldn't diss the Kennedy one. I mean, that's a popular one, but there's a reason it's popular.
Well, no, there's definitely something behind the scheme of to assassinate him. I don't know what it actually was.
I don't know that it did, or like I said, I don't know the guys involved or the government conspiracy, but something's fishy about it. Something's weird.
So the Building 7 was that there was a critical column that was hit by extreme heat and maybe other debris or something. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that something was damaged, but people. So the 9/11, the World Trade Center towers.
What's with that shirt? I saw that. You know,
I did.
Okay, I saw that and I was like, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to say anything.
So there's the belief that it was set up so that people could enter war to attack another nation, right? But there's other ways to do that.
Anyway, they attacked the other nation, but let's not get into that.
Yeah. Like the belief was that it was like a predefined demonstration, a demolition of the buildings, like the most prominent buildings in New York, to allow that to happen. Like they knew it ahead of time. I really would have a hard time believing that. But you could never prove it, too. So that's the perfect conspiracy.
Right, that's part of the conspiracy theory. People can't prove it.
People also didn't it was something about like the design of the buildings wasn't supposed to be like an aircraft was not supposed to be able to destroy it. But they didn't really factor in the fuel and the heat generated, and then there's like a pathway in the elevators to like superheat the building to melt like all the steel, like the center columns. So
then, what was 9/11? Just a hell of a coincidence and like a good strike by them, or like do you think they knew that? Because there's no way they could have predicted the angles and everything to produce the heat, known the elevator shaft and all that. There's no way they did.
We're going to hit this building with a jumbo jet full of fuel.
Okay.
But apparently,
they hit it the right way.
I don't even know that there's a weakness. Like, I don't know any buildings that can get hit with a jumbo jet and be like, we're okay.
Right. It's not like they found the one weakness, hitting it with an atom bomb. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. I guess it doesn't matter.
But did they know about it ahead of time? Could they prevent it? Would you? I mean, after the first strike, I think they did attack the other planes. I don't know if they hit them with missiles or anything. But you have a plane.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they took them down. I know the one in PA went down, right?
Yeah, there's one heading towards the Pentagon that hit like the outer wall, and then the one in PA crashed because they say in
the field,
the crew,
everyone rose up.
Yeah,
which I believe because you think about it. You say about the other three, the crew didn't rise up and no one tried to stop them. Well, because no one knew what the hell was going on by then. Maybe they did.
Yeah, or maybe they did shoot it out of the air, and they say that was the.
Oh, right, maybe.
I mean, you could probably. You would think that you could disable an airplane by shooting out its engines and it would crash to the ground violently, but safer than most other scenarios.
I guess. Like, moving around. Princess Diana? Paparazzi or just bad chance?
The driver was drunk? Was that her death was involved?
I thought paparazzi were forcing her to drive faster somehow. I'm not really sure the details of that. They were, I
heard the driver was drunk and they're getting away from paparazzi and then fatal accident. That's all I know about it. It's
Denver Airport? Do you know about that?
That it was large and away from the central area so that there's a new world order being built under it? Like it's the city underneath?
Well, do you know it's a mile high, right? It's way higher than it needs to be, which Colorado, Denver is pretty high off the ground anyway, but let's not get into that.
I like that fact.
Let's not get into geological facts. How about the ones that always pop up? I read or did I see a video? Either way, the article was something about conspiracy theories pop up like crazy in coordination with losers, and I was like, that's rude. That's really rude. And it was like losers of elections, especially. So like Bill Clinton wins, there's a conspiracy. Why did he win? And almost half of the losing side, which is half of the United States, believes in these things. Obama wins, and there's a birth certificate drama. Yeah. Half of Republicans actually thought it was really fake. So here's another thing. Like, remember we talked about Sean Murmer said conspiracy theorist is someone who will take any fact you give them and turn it into more conspiracy. When, remember, Obama couldn't find his birth certificate, wouldn't promote it. When he finally did, and it was from Hawaii, they were like, well, guess what? I guess Hawaii hospitals are on this conspiracy. That's interesting.
They falsified documents.
How far are you going to keep going? Yeah. So they're in on it. But like,
what about the Trump one? That the Russia.
Which one?
Russia hackers got into the voting machines.
You know what's weird? Either I do believe it because I don't necessarily think it's a conspiracy. I think there's like some.
I think it's possible. That's what scares me.
Well, here's my thing. I think it is possible. I don't think it's a conspiracy. To me, is something that's probably false, but could be true. Wait, did I say that right?
Probably false, but could be true. I would say. I think you meant to say that it's probably not true.
But then,
like the voting one is possible, and it's a good thing to shine light on because, like, these voting machines.
Right, we should see how our voting machines work.
Yeah, and they should not have back doors to them, and there should also be a secondary method to prove. So, like, if you're voting on an electronic machine,
check and balance.
Yeah, there should be like a paper ballot as well that can double check. Like 100%. These are definitive.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a good idea.
Multiple
conspiracy theories do kind of. They provide a check and a balance. Before we get to that talk, though, I was going to say, do you want to say anything about my favorite is always ends up being the rich guy conspiracy? George Soros right now is a big one.
Gaining an army or something, controlling the world.
I never know, dude. Whoever you listen to. Because he's one of the richer people in the world that he's not of American birth, but he's an American. I read, what is that? Whatever, he's a Turkish American. I think that plays into it. Because you don't hear these theories about Elon Musk and Musk, and you don't hear these theories about the other rich one, Bezos.
Soros owns like a communications company in like South or Central America, right?
Yeah. So I think that ties into this whole conspiracy theory thing. Like, if you own stuff outside the United States and you're not super United Statesian and you're not in the public eye, you must be doing something sneaky.
Is Soros really American?
I think he's American. Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe I'm speaking out of place. Maybe that's why he's part of this whole conspiracy.
Hungarian-American.
Hungarian. I thought it was Turkish-American. Hungarian-American. Excuse me. All our Turkish viewers.
That is weird.
So, see what you're saying right there? Now you're like, you're doing the whole conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
He could be pulling the strings. It's weird. Do you want to hear one of the more playful conspiracies that came across? That was interesting, and I was like, what? And I was like, it could be. Coca-Cola. Greatest product ever invented. Used to have cocaine in it, right? Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
They stopped that. That's illegal.
Happy starts.
They stopped it. It still was one of the best sodas, greatest tasting things around. Between 1985 and 2000, no one's sure when, Coke changed.
New Coke.
I don't know if you guys noticed. New Coke, baby. Now, there are two possible reasons that Coke changed. One, they think they used a little bit inferior ingredients to try and make it taste different to get the public to say, whoa, what's happening with Coke here? Get a little public outcry, and then get like maybe a campaign, bring back Coke. And people would start buying Coke, and they'd re-release original Coke and sell it. And it would go crazy. It would sell like crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What was the quote from the guy?
There was no outcry, I believe. There was no outcry. It was just a few people complaining, and they were stuck selling inferior Coke. And that's what we have today is inferior Coke. Did you hear that?
Yeah. What was the quote? You know what the quote is?
I don't know. I didn't have a quote.
So the Coca-Cola president, Donald.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. What did it say? He said, it was just like, we have never changed the ingredients.
No, the truth is we're not that dumb and we're not that smart.
I like that. That's a good quote.
Yeah. It's like,
and I did see that quote.
Maybe I don't even know what's going on here.
I didn't do that, but I mean,
I'm not that stupid, but I'm also not that smart.
Yeah.
What do you think of like the QAnon? How about that one?
The what?
QAnon? Where the hell do you live, dude?
I don't know what that is actually.
QAnon started on 4chan or one of the backlog, really anonymous internet sites, and it was someone who knew the truth about what's going on in the political circles. And they started posting, and some things came true, I believe. So he got a big following.
Is this the hacker group Anonymous?
Yes.
To jump in and say, this is what is actually happening because we hacked all these people. We know background information, and then disappear. Yeah. And they come out from.
Do you know Roseanne Barr was like, yeah, listen to QAnon. Like all of a sudden, celebrities started pimping them. Like whoa, gaining some traction. At Trump's last rally, by the time this releases a few months ago, he had like people with QAnon banners all up there and all that. Well, by the time we're recording this, the idea was QAnon says that Mueller wasn't investigating Trump, etc. He was getting ready to lock up Hillary, and the final straws will come very soon. And as we know from this episode we're releasing right now, that's probably not true. Because they've literally locked up both his attorney and someone else. It seems like QAnon may have run his course. I could be wrong by the time we release this. Maybe Hillary's in jail and he says Trump is completely innocent. Guy's a genius.
Maybe all of our possible presidents are Russian sponsored.
I don't know. Oh, I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
We'll talk about what was this? Pizzagate?
Oh, Pizzagate. Pizzagate went awry quickly. Let me tell you that.
Since you mentioned Hillary Clinton. What? It was something that
was it 4chan or Reddit? Who 4chan,
4chan right? As well. Is that Cheese Pizza had the initial CP?
Do you remember the name of the child porn baby?
Yeah, Comet Pizza.
Comet Pizza, that's what it was. Where was that? I can't remember what state it was.
I think it was in D.C.
Oh, could be. I thought it was West Coast, but it could have been D.C.
Washington, D.C.
So someone would go in there and take pictures of the artwork on the walls. I've seen the whole Reddit, I think it was a Reddit post, and it was like, check out this. And it was really weird as a creepy dude leading a bunch of children off to I think it was like Peter Pan, Pied Piper picture, just a poorly done one.
Huh, weird.
Then there are a bunch of kids kind of smiling, but they look awful, which could have just been bad artwork.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Probably more than likely just someone trying to draw children and doing poorly. There's really weird stuff. A bunch of celebrities would show up there and stuff like that. And then you could order pizza a certain way, and someone claimed, which this is my favorite part of conspiracies.
I'll just have a cheese
I know a
pizza.
guy who has blueprints. There's no door here, but this should have a basement. There's a whole level that's not showing up. And people were like, what? And they were like, a whole extra level? And they were like, yeah, I helped build this place. And that was the last post this guy wrote. And it's like, what? And anyway, the idea was people start ordering weird things, and you could tie in what this person ordered and this person ordered. CP, George Soros' jet was flying people in at certain times. What are they doing? What's children have to do with pizza? What is a topping? Is a topping a kind of child? And it gets darker and darker, and there's not really any evidence, but people are piling on. And that blueprints guy showed up, and he said that there's a basement there. I'm telling you, there's a basement that's not showing up. And people were like, I think people are trafficking children. I think this is seriously a child trafficking pornography ring. And then hysteria is kind of reaching out, and a guy brought a gun, maybe an AR-15, and he came into the pizza place.
Really? I didn't know about this part.
Oh my God, it was in the news, dude. He took people hostage. He may have shot one or two people. Type in gunman, Comet Pizza. Yeah, I'd like to know the fact of how many people either got shot or didn't get shot. Now I need to know. Do gunman, Comet Pizza, or whatever the name of the pizza place is.
Yeah. Gunman.
Okay. Did it say any killed or anything? Because I don't want to speak out of turn and say 8 people died, but he didn't shoot anyone. Whatever. Anyway, this guy literally was reading this and was so inflamed, because that's one of the scariest things. Child pornography rings, something no one could stand up for. It's the ultimate evil. He took up his gun, brought it to Comet Pizza, and did he just threaten? Did he actually shoot anyone?
I don't think he shot anybody. I don't see any injuries.
Okay, he was arrested. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, he brought his gun and he was looking for answers. and he brandished his weapon. And luckily, the police were called, and they had to shut down the store. They searched the place. He kept saying there was a basement and everything. They checked. There's no basement there.
Did not injure anyone.
Okay, good. Anyway, no basement there. It was total bullshit. No one ever included any child pornography or anything there. It was just a crappy pizza place.
It was just something that politicians did to other politicians, I would assume, to make Hillary Clinton look like she's evil.
Probably. Why not?
Which she might not have been evil. She would be a terrible president.
So my conspiracy theory is that maybe other party people were on this Reddit post, like faking the blueprint thing and all that shit.
How crazy would that be? Another layer of conspiracy. So the internet should solve these conspiracies by providing more information, but it just messes it all up. It just thrives on entertainment.
So we get into the problem. It's on anonymity. I
can't even say
an anemone. That's where clownfish can sleep at night.
Anonymity.
Oh, thank you. That was pretty good. That was nice. Anyway, should we allow Should we allow people to be usernameless, anonymous,
anonymity?
I think that's where half our problems run from with the internet.
Yeah, right? if you had your real name on the internet, though, I would feel.
I know.
I feel like it wouldn't be the internet anymore. It'd be weird.
No, I wouldn't want my name on the internet for every single thing I do.
I mean, even here and now, we don't provide our
we don't have
full
our names. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to do this if everyone knew my real name. That would be too creepy. Mm-hmm. That'd be weird.
Mm-hmm. It is weird. So, last but not least, I want to round up conspiracy theories. Before we get into the very last thing I want to do, conspiracy theories. Some of the craziest ones were, I love the New Coke one. Jesus was married. That's a good one, right?
Is it Mary Magdalene?
Yeah. Hold on. Under that was Jesus was an alien. Really, people?
Yeah. Yeah.
You come across that?
No, I didn't.
Amelia Earhart's still alive. I was like, that's okay.
She's probably crashed and dead in the ocean.
Did you know conspiracy theories aren't new either. In the 1960s, a term black genocide came about because African-American individuals thought that they were trying to get rid of them. In good cause, there was a lot of laws and bad things going against African-Americans.
In America or like Hotel Rwanda style?
In America. Okay. And they thought the white man's just trying to get rid of the black man. You know what those two biggest proponents were? Abortion and the pill. They said, this is black genocide. They're trying to lower our numbers. We will not give in. We will not kill our own. We will not. They're trying to get us to just kill ourselves.
So the medicine thing, there's curious things with medicine here.
Oh, so go ahead.
The whole medical industry makes its money off of people's pain and suffering, essentially.
Sure.
If there was a technology to absolutely cure a disease, would the medical industry provide that?
No, of course not.
Yeah, they have no requirement. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do have a requirement to do that, but
well, hold on. Here's a thing though. Capitalism says that someone could come up with it and name the greatest price. They would sell it.
Exactly.
Like you sell for $10 billion. Yeah, you could sell.
Unless you're the company that continually sells this indefinitely to people who have the disease and need it to survive. And then it's money train forever rather than vaccine and cure for one time.
True. But again, you're feeding into conspiracy theory a little.
Yes.
I mean, if there was a cure and you charge 14 times as much for the cure than the fake cure that the other company was going, you'd still sell it, right?
Yeah, you would think that people would be reasonable and buy the cure.
Even if it was 14 times as much?
Yeah, or the government would step in and say, this is better for the people. Give the people the cure.
Government doesn't do that, right? Like Bayer versus Advil. Can you imagine the government was like, whoa, Advil, Bayer, get back. Like, you imagine they're like, you're a joke. Get out of here.
What about fluoridation?
They don't fluorinate our water here. I'll tell you that.
Oh, they don't? I thought they did. They
it's one of the few townships in the area that doesn't. Yeah, they don't.
Huh. So yeah, bad.
I almost got a job there. You be the judge. They're sparkling. They may be bad, but they're sparkling, my friend.
Yeah, people would say that the fluoride was weakening them and making them less energetic and adding cancers or something to their body, which who knows? No one actually tests. Right, I mean, there's some scientists that probably could disprove that, but most people probably don't.
Well, and are you going to believe a scientific study done by whatever college, you'd need several studies done by several different groups who aren't funded by someone. But if funding takes a lot of money, the only people with money that are funding it want a specific answer. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, real quick, just on the back of black genocide?
Sure, sir.
No, it's fine. For a while, KFC was believed to have a secret ingredient that made black men sterile, not white men.
Only
They
black.
found 27 secret ingredients, one of which would not let black men reproduce. Kind of ridiculous, right?
This makes fried chicken more valuable, I think. Temporarily,
Well,
not permanently.
What's crazy is the thought that you could make a food that you ate make one race sterile, but not another.
That's massive. What? That's really a lot of science by KFC right there to figure that out.
So hold on. So that's ridiculous. But now we've come in the current era. Do you know the term white genocide? It's gaining popularity right now.
A little bit.
KKK, I think, is pushing it, and a bunch of people like that. They're saying like that they're trying to get rid of white people in Europe and stuff. That's what liberals want in America. Down our borders and just let all people of color come in, and then there will be no more white people. And that's the secret. And I was like,
well, I guess that
sounds equally crazy, right?
Well, yeah.
So
globally,
these theories
white people are a minority anyway, right?
Yeah, I guess globally, not in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they're figuring it would dilute over the United States.
They don't perceive the merging of people. They just identify as a unique subset that will never be something in the middle of the two.
Right.
Yeah.
You think it's all, in a way, you think conspiracy theory is all about you, in a way.
What you are at this moment. Protecting your lifestyle and the way you live. And who you are.
Did you know I came across a theory the Titanic never sank?
Oh.
There's a conspiracy theory that Elvis isn't dead.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
I read one that Nazis are really the
They really won the war?
UFOs. No, UFOs. You can find a conspiracy theory for everything. It gets ridiculous. They don't have as many followers as like the Kennedy one, but they're out there.
So what's the biggest one that could actually be real that has persisted the longest that could be covered up?
I want to say that global elites are in charge of most things because there are multi-billionaires that, what do they do with their money? I mean, that would be something you could do with your money and kind of control the stem and flow of economics, right?
You really want to build a master base.
Well, you want to build something that you can't lose your money ever. And that your children will eventually be fine and they'll have the money, that billions of dollars, and then won't lose it, right?
Or it's a religion. A religion is supporting a secret group that does whatever, and then they flee back to their religion when things go wrong. Like the Templars or the Illuminati or the Freemasons.
Yeah. I could see it. I don't know. You ever hear baloney theory? I don't know why it's called this. Don't ask me why.
I was going to ask you, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why it's called this, but the idea is, and this is my favorite theory. The more people you involve in conspiracy, the more likely it is that it's not true. If you need everyone who works at Wonder Bread company that makes bread, the Wonder Bread, remember Wonder Bread?
Yep. I remember Wonder Bread.
Everyone who delivers for Wonder Bread, and then every single person who buys Wonder Bread, complicit in the conspiracy, and tell me that they're all going to do all their jobs 100% effective, 100% keep their secrets, 100% be able to do it without being caught, I will tell you you're so full of shit that 8 people at Wonder Bread will fuck up and fall asleep on the job, or like piss on the bread, or like
get drunk
in the job, and the more people you involve, the more I'm like, this conspiracy is bullshit. Just because someone's going to screw up along the chain. Like, you imagine the whole Independence Day thing where like we believe we went over to an alien spaceship, downloaded a virus right into the mainframe and rolled out. Like, come on, the USB stick fit. Like the firmware was the same. There was no software update. Like, there was a communication issue. You didn't have any of this. Like, it was the wrong version of their software. Like, none of this happened, because this happens every time I do anything. You're telling me that the biggest government conspiracy that happened on, midnight eve of so-and-so happened perfectly according to every plan, and all the software was up to date, and all the hardware was perfect, and nothing went wrong, and nobody dropped anything, and no one spilled any goddamn water on anything? You're full of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
Life is messy. Conspiracy theories are not messy. They're all very tight and close-lipped and perfect, and everything's closed and no one knows. Like my asshole, buddy. Okay?
Always closed.
So, not
I don't believe that.
The other thing that I came to finish up conspiracy theories, unless you had something else to add.
No, I'm good.
Cool.
Is there? Wait, how much of a wrap up is this? Because there's the one that we mentioned before.
It's big. This is a big wrap up.
So
we might come back to it. What?
There's the sports one about the NBA draft in 1985.
Oh, God,
cold envelope.
No.
We argued about this before.
It was an envelope.
Yeah. Apparently, they pulled out an envelope to say which team got first pick in the draft, I believe.
Duncan draft? I can't remember.
Yeah, so
85.
They chilled an envelope so that the person could feel which one to pick. I don't know. That seems so plausible and so simple.
How could you prove it right now?
Exactly. You could never prove it.
Yeah. Weird.
It's going to cool off after what? A minute? 2 minutes?
Yeah, right. Not even. Who knows? It's room temperature after a minute or two, right? 3 minutes, whatever. Yeah. It's weird. You'll never know. No one will ever know except the person who froze it and the person who picked it up.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, what I find is interesting now in why conspiracy theories have changed, why it's like an evolving thing, like why it's, we didn't even get into Alex Jones and his whole thing. And, all the school shootings are fake.
I don't know.
And they're crisis actors.
Is that his whole shtick? Is that he's saying things that just don't
big
add
shtick
up?
that he makes a lot of views from, and he's been banned from a lot of things from.
That's the one thing that's getting weird is that free speech now is whether you can get on social media platforms, and they're deciding who can speak and who can't. I don't care that he says the opposite opinion of what people believe, because that should be told.
This is weird. I believe. The issue is I've seen a lot of documentaries that show that he creates such a stir and says that this person whose brother was killed or son was killed is a liar and a crisis actor, and that there are people following the parents of the Sandy Hook and what's the one that happened in Miami or Florida
Lakeland.
or whatever.
Perfect.
There are people following, just strange people who watch the internet, who drive down here and follow the Lakeland parents of a dead kid every day to work and stuff and say, your kid never died. Your kid never died.
Yeah.
Show us the death certificate. To the point where that's almost more than harassment. But
the onus is on the person who is harassing them. It's not. I don't think it's Alex Jones saying that he doesn't believe it. Because I
agree. I agree with you. But if Alex Jones didn't say that, do you think they would really be down there screaming at them?
Yeah, but the causation, that person's going to do crazy stuff anyway because they're obviously a nut job.
Right, but Alex Jones is channeling that crazy person to harass someone for years, maybe.
Does he specifically say to do that? Is the question? I don't watch it. He
specifically says they're faking it, and the parents are to blame, and they're hiding the truth. If he didn't say that, I don't think these crazy people would follow them and scream at them. I'm
not backing what he does, but I think
I understand what you're saying.
The understanding of the situation might be heightened because you have somebody that's just going to naysay. If you have a naysayer, then maybe you want legitimizing proof from all these news agencies that might not be providing that. But in that situation, it's impossible to say that like this person, it's horrible. It's obviously they died. But honestly, how does the rest of the United States know that?
I mean, you raise a good point, and I will say I actually agree with you with this. I think he's deplorable. I think he's shit. I think he's awful. I could care less if Alex Jones got hit by a bus tomorrow and slowly died while he pissed into a bag. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. What I will say is it is weird that a social media company will be like, you're not allowed to be on this platform.
So should free speech apply to private enterprises that are providing a platform for people to speak?
If they get big enough, like Facebook, Twitter. I would think.
I think it actually should.
The president's on it. You know what I mean? It changes to.
Yeah.
If only 300 people were on Twitter, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
There are probably billions or just hundreds of millions. I don't know.
I'd say it's under $1 billion, but
okay, it's
up
up there.
Multiple accounts. You can have botnets and stuff.
Right.
I've
heard of them.
People are starting to manipulate the social media networks so that you get one opinion. It's how many people are like supporting Trump and how many people I get every day just being like, Trump. or against
it's
it.
an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber.
Well, no, I get both
100%.
of them. So it's like if I'm hearing from these two groups that they blindly believe whatever they're told anyway. Why doesn't Alex Jones not allow? Why do you take away his platform?
Right. I don't actually. I'm agreeing with you here. I think it's weird that they took away his platform. Here's another thing, though. He makes money off of it. I think it would be weird. It would be one thing to let him keep speaking, maybe cut off his money. I don't know if you can do that. Is that weird?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
How would you do
he's
that?
making money off of. Just say he doesn't make money off
donations
of YouTube or whoever.
Yeah.
Well, if someone wanted to donate directly to him, peace be it. But if he's making money because he has 1 million hits on YouTube, I would cut that money out.
Yeah. Does he have his own website where he can post his own videos? He probably does. He should at this point.
He probably does at this point. And at this point, if they go to it, I'm not going to stop people from going to his damn website, these morons.
So if net neutrality allows you to not go to his website, they start blocking his website. I think that's an issue. It's like net neutrality should allow you to see everything, but they
Here's a question I thought of when I was doing this today.
Yeah.
Is your belief that Ajit Pai, what's his name?
Ajit Pai.
Pai, thank you.
Yeah.
What if he's literally working independent of anything he ever did, and he's just making judgments based on his own merit? And your belief that he used to work for Verizon or whoever is clouding his judgment is a conspiracy theory. Can you prove it?
Can I prove? He literally said this in a speech to hundreds of people that he was going to do this exact thing.
I Google it?
You can watch the speech as he makes.
I might watch the speech. I'm not going to do it during this episode because we're almost
angry because he just is a shitty person.
What if I looked it up and it wasn't word for word exactly what you said, and it was kind of like veiled at it, but like not? Would you be like, he's still doing it?
Jokes about it, like he cracks jokes, like he's going to do this, like it's tongue in cheek.
But maybe he's making jokes at people who believe this conspiracy against him. He's just a normal guy trying to do his job. Dan. He's a good guy.
I'm so angry. That's your goal.
All right. So to finish off, I just wanted to say that the interesting thing about the now is that things don't disappear. Data doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
Anything
controlling knowledge, pseudoscience, all pseudo history. It should be real history now.
But it's weird because not every piece of data is fact. Not every piece of data deserves to be recorded. Not every piece of data needs to be recorded. We almost sometimes get too much information that could be falsified or used in a bad context.
Yeah. And now they're starting to figure out validation services to tell you how true certain things are.
But who's making those validation services? I don't know if I believe them.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? There's always going to be a question, but the data won't slow down. So the data keeps getting faster and faster and faster. And we're essentially piecing together. I can piece together 8 seconds of this guy's life, 10 seconds of this guy's life, a minute later, this guy's life. And I'm making this, it's really these tight dots that are all over the place. And hear me out here. I think it's a glitch in our data. Conspiracy theories. When you think about it, a conspiracy theory is literally filling in the gaps of what we may or may not have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's filling it in with a pseudoscience element. Right.
It's a theory.
100%. It's a theory.
It says theory in
human.
it.
But it's a human theory. A robot can't make a conspiracy theory. It's almost the last human visage in a world with data. It's the human element of data, if I were to say so myself. I wrote that down. So, I mean, people use facts all the time in their conspiracy theories. Do you know what they use? Hindsight facts. That's one where George Bush should have known about 9/11. Here's a memo from Condoleezza Rice 3 weeks earlier. He probably got 1 million memos that week. But we picked this one and said, look, he should have known. It's a fact. Is it not still a fact that she said, I think something's brewing? They said there's going to be problems with our security in planes especially. What if she said that?
She probably sends that out every other week.
She could have sent 40 of them out, right?
Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen in September. I'm telling you. Like, he probably gets 1 million emails that day. I mean, I don't know if that's bears any merit. Looking back, it does. It's called hindsight fact. There's also coincidences that happen. There's extra info we get, missing info. Just we're surrounded by data now, and I think data is the reason for conspiracy theories.
Apophenia.
Maybe, man.
Making all those connections.
Maybe. Oh my god.
They were probably you had it on wrong. Oh no. Everything you just said is invalidated because they got in your brain.
Well, tonight we talked about conspiracies.
Yeah,
all the good ones,
a whole
baby.
bunch of them. Death, fake death, real death.
We didn't get into any fake deaths or real deaths, I don't think. Like the Elvis, all the celebrities that have been replaced by clones.
Yeah. The Matrix. We're all in the Matrix.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's not a conspiracy. Isn't that a theory? Mm-hmm.
How do you get out of this? How do you get out of it? We talked about Walker, and we talked about the other guy.
We did.
Barkins. All those different types.
We talked about George Soros for like over an hour. I hope he shows up in the keywords. Yeah. Everyone's here.
Flat Earth.
Is George Soros here? Hollow Earth. Shout out Hollow Earth. It doesn't get as much credit as Flat Earth, but I hear Flat Earthers make better love. Ooh, any truth to the rumor? What the Famicon?
Yeah.
Keep dropping. We talked about pretty much every conspiracy except one. What if the UnPanderers is a social experiment? Well, folks, we like it.
I like it a lot.
I don't have any controls.